We have another compost delivery here. Whoa! Well done. Thank you. How are we doing? I'm Martin from Gardens for Life in Birdland Homestead. In this video I'm going to be actually starting to plant up our new garden. Finally getting to it. I've got all these plants. Hang on. All of these plants here. So we've got some valerian, some rhubarb, we've got Chinese rhubarb, Glaston's perpetual. I didn't really have much success with Victoria this year. These are great mullein, wood mallow or zebra mallow, some beetroots, some black magic, which is basically Nero, fancy version of Nero with larger leaves, some mint. It's orange mint, that one, but I'll probably actually plant this into pots first. We got some bronze fennel. I'm hoping that'll go to seed and spread itself and naturalise in our gardens. And that's it for now. Plenty of work in it. Definitely going to do the mashuas as well. So I've found the best way to store mashuas is actually in the soil or outside in a crate in compost and wood chips. And these ones need to be planted out. So we're going to be doing some of those too today. Some yacons as well, and ochas later, a little bit later. I think the last chance of frost has gone. I don't see any frost coming up in the next 10 days, so hopefully, touch wood, we're not going to get one, and I'm going to plant out some pumpkins as well already. Are you moving wood chips?
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Camera lens cleaning service. How are we doing? All right.
Now we got stuff again.
So there is still a few bits of sod in it that came from the compost pile. You can see here, I might try and shake some of that compost off it, but for the most part it's a lost cause because it's just more work than it's worth. But I'm going to just be removing all these bits and pieces that were just basically bits of grass from the compost piles that were overgrown. So I'm just going to get rid of these, and I'm going to cover any of these bits here where the grasses are still coming through from the bottom, from underneath. And I'm going to try and remove as much of them as I can and cover them with compost. I think they'll be fine after that. If I had a bit of cardboard I would cover them with that first, but I don't have any at the moment. But I'm still going to try and make some progress here and get all of this done. Well, thank you, Levi. Thanks for helping. Thank you. Okay. Good boy. Can I have that before you make a mess? I'm just gonna throw this out here for a minute. All right. So let's get going. Yeah, I'm very happy with the way this is turning out. And we're already making good progress here now. So I'm basically just flattening out the compost, and we're making a bit of a path as well. Yeah, you made a path for your little truck, and we can also use it for walking.
And then I can go this way.
Excuse me?
Then go back.
Check it out. So we have a bit of a path here now, and we're going to cover it with wood chips when we get a chance. But first we're going to cultivate our ground on either side of the path and plant things, because those things need to go in the ground. Hopefully we have enough compost put down here. We can always top it up again with a wheelbarrow if we want to. And over here, that's another story. I'll have to sort that out. Take me a bit of time, probably an hour to sort out this area. But this, all in all, only took about half an hour so far. All of this. So let's keep going. The dogs love going under the plastic, but they usually move the rocks too, so I have to move them back after. So I have these bamboos put down all the way around here. I'm going to put some more here, and I'm going to be putting some electric wire on it, but I'm not going to electrify it. But don't tell the dogs. They've never been shocked. They've never actually been shocked by the electric wire, but hopefully they'll think that they're not supposed to go in there, and I just warn them if they do. come in. So I think that'll work fine. It worked fine for the other area, way over there. So hopefully we can keep the dogs out so they don't stomp or trample our new seedlings. I am planning on actually putting down wood chips everywhere, all over the place here behind me in this garden, just to block the weed seeds permanently. But I just want to save wood chips this year, because the wood chips I have left, it's quite a big pile still, and I'm going to use that on our wood chip island. So just mainly to cover the paths again. So I'm going to spread a tiny bit of compost in the paths, but also mostly wood chips, because I'm trying to save some compost for now, just to make it thicker, especially for yacons. You want to give them as much compost as you can, because they grow quite deep. They grow like a foot deep. But I'd be happy now if I had lots of little grow spaces like that, and just a few paths in between for this year, because then I can reach the weeds in the middle as well. Like, as in, I can maintain the beds and I can plant things as well. And later I harvest. Most of them are perennials, but I'm going to grow them on anyway for 6 months. So there'll be no harvest there really for the first 6 months, other than kale. And at the end of the growing season, maybe in November, I'm going to start harvesting plants from this area. You've probably all heard of the term rotten sod, and usually people refer to either a person or a sod of turf. But I think the word is appropriate here. Look at that. So we don't want that grown in our garden. That's definitely a rotten sod. And I'm gonna just remove all these. They were just grown on top of the compost pile. Oh. Away with you. Well, that was easier than expected, even though I've done it so many times at this stage. I was only basically just raking this compost out here for the last 20 minutes now, and got all this done. Can't wait. I'm very excited about this new garden now. Again, this area will require a bit of extra work, which I'm going to get to in the next few days. But first I'm going to plant up all these, or all this space, because I've got a ton of plants there that need to be going in the ground, especially mashuas, yacons, yes, pumpkins too. All those not so frost hardy plants can go in the ground now. I think it's safe enough. I've been looking at the weather forecast for the next 10 days, and there's no frosts at all scheduled, so hopefully we'll be all right. Here I'm probably just gonna either dig that up, or I may use some cardboard on it and bring some more compost in. And this was a bed that was already being used, so I might actually utilize it. I might even make a insect pile here and just cover it with plastic. Rather than ripping up all those weeds and putting all that work into it, I'll just smother them with an actual, kind of like a compost pile. An insect pile is the same thing really, except a lazy compost pile, which you don't need to turn, because the insects will do all the work for you. In recent years I've discovered another way of blocking most of the weeds during the growing season, at least new weeds from establishing again, and old weeds from coming through the compost layer below. And that is, not only can you use the compost to smother your weeds, also but you can just use canopy gardening to your advantage. So you're basically covering the entire garden with plants so that there is no sunlight getting down to the ground. So that gives the weeds an awful lot less of a chance of germinating in your garden or grow space. Going to do planting in the next episode, and then we're going to do some wood chips on the paths as well. After that, it's mainly maintenance. If you'd like to support us, we do have an online course on our website, and I go into more detail on no-dig and forest gardening and that. And we also have a shop for plants and cuttings and tubers. We also have a membership and a Patreon page. Thanks for your support, and we'll see you the next time. Bye bye. Do you think I can train him to walk on the path? Only walk on the path. Why? Pretty good. Good boy. Garden beds are for plants, not for dogs. He's a good boy. Lying down on the path. How do I train him not to go on the garden beds? No running, no wrestling in this part of the garden. Attaboy.